Introduction. It was a warm summer evening in 1993, July 9th, in New Haven, Connecticut to be exact. A few buddies and I had made the trek from Long Island, New York, to catch a show by one of our favorite bands, Blind Melon, at a venue called Toad's Place. One small problem. It turns out that it's a 21 and over entry, and another guy and I are the only members of our group who are old enough to get in. Standing outside of Toad's as showtime grows near, it's looking pretty bleak, until we see a smallish, long-haired, hippie-looking figure walking down the street with a backpack on. "Hey guys," he says in a friendly voice, and compliments yours truly on wearing a Primus t-shirt. That was the beginning of my brief but memorable interaction with Shannon Hoon. Never mind that his band were about to go on stage. He seemed more concerned with our dilemma after we told him about it. "Don't worry, this is what's going to happen," he said. "When we go on, someone inside is going to crack open the fire exit right there. Then you guys got to bum rush the door." A few songs into the set, my friends and I are inside. Hoon announces from the stage that he's glad to see that the young people had made it in. After the show, we meet guitarist Rogers Stevens, a friendly guy who, like Hoon, likes to chat with fans. In addition to voicing his exuberance for the Butthole Surfers CD, Independent Worm Saloon, which he displays a copy of, the subject comes up of how Blind Melon appear on the verge of a breakthrough. "If we do become big, we won't change. Stick with us," he announces, before driving off in a van with his bandmates. Stevens' words soon proved prophetic. While that night's show would not be the best I'd seen from the band with Hoon, that would be a two-way tie between the first time I saw them, March 25th, 1993 at the Wetlands in New York City, and the last, September 19th, 1995 at the Tradewinds in New Jersey. The Toad show is perhaps most memorable for me. Obviously, because of meeting two members of the band. But also, it showed that the band, and Hoon in particular, were really just like their fans, and honestly cared about them. Ever since then, Blind Melon has been one of my favorite bands, and out of the 100-plus shows I've seen over the years of other bands, there was nothing quite like a Blind Melon show, trust me. And while I've been lucky to see some of rock's best-ever frontmen live, Iggy, Ozzy, Alice, etc., Shannon to this day remains one of the best frontmen I've ever seen. As the stage moves never appeared pre-planned. He simply moved and responded to where the music took him. He truly became one with the music when he performed. And of course, you've got to love a singer that stopped a show twice to stop crowd-surfing lunkheads from landing on fans crammed in the front row before punching one of the goons in the face. Yep, another show I attended. And as far as Blind Melon's music, a word that I always felt described their music best was pure. Out of all the rock bands of the era, and there were certainly quite a few great ones, Blind Melon was one of the purest sounding rock bands out there. Their albums sounded as if you were sitting right in the middle of their rehearsal space, listening to them let it rip. Take a look around at popular music nowadays. Quite a few modern-day rockers could learn a thing or two about real-sounding music from Blind Melon, Soup, and Nico. Although I didn't know Shannon personally, I can still recall the sadness, shock, and disappointment upon learning of his untimely death in October 1995. I was so positive that Melon were going to be one of those Stones, Who, Zeppelin-type bands that would make a career out of delivering one classic album after another. It's been nearly 13 years since the release of the group's second album, Soup, as I type this. And to this day, it's the rock album I return to the most, as it sounds as great today as it did back then. Whenever I'm asked what my favorite album of all time is, Soup gets the nod time and time again. If anyone's story deserves to be told, Shannon Hoon and Blind Melon certainly get my vote. Strap yourself in, it's going to be a wild ride. Enjoy. Greg Prato, New York, April 2008.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.